When I lost my sight, if anything, it pushed me on and made me absolutely focused on doing something with my life.
I named this puppy Kane.
You can feel a little bit like Cruella de Vil at times.
You don't really want to be a guide dog, do you?
They realised something that we didn't. They loved each other from the start.
There's an old adage, if you want a friend in politics, get a dog. Well, I've got a dog.
It's heartbreaking to let them go.
She's been my world. I've always said it. Meet the dog that saved my life.
This is a tale of 10 puppies.
So what have we got? We've got a little boy.
10 puppies destined to change lives. Because they're born and bred to be guide dogs for the blind. This is their mum, Georgie. Every puppy in her litter has been given a name beginning with K. So meet Kylie, Kira, Kirby, Corky, Keith, Kerry, Cola, Cluedo, Keegan and Kez. As babies, they're looked after by Mum. At 3 weeks old, Cluedo's trying solid food for the first time.
Little boy,
come on, you.
Star. This one's little gamut. It's like real.
Oh, I need that, not my finger.
Kirby hasn't quite got the hang of it yet.
That's my finger. Come on.
Meanwhile, Kez is taking his first steps. At 6 weeks, the pups have left their mum and are facing the puppy profiling assessment. Keith's distraction level is being checked with the squirrel test, while Kerry's confidence is assessed with the tunnel walk. They've all passed with flying colours, but this is just the beginning of a long road to become a guide dog. Not all of them will make it. All too soon, it's time for the big wide world and the trickiest stage of all, adolescence. Now they're 6 months old and helping them through their troublesome teens. An army of volunteers from across the country will take them into their homes for this first crucial year.
That's it. And wait.
So where have our puppies gone? Kirby's been in Lincolnshire for the past 4 months, living with serial puppy parents Tony and Carol.
There's Zest, my first, followed by my Nellie, and then we go to Caitlin and Patsy. We then have Chloe. We then have Jenny. We have Archie. We then have Ruby. And here we are with number 11. This is our Kirby, who's now just 6 months old.
Tony used to be a carpenter, but his life changed dramatically 14 years ago.
In the beginning of January 2001, I was actually attacked in the street. They've actually damaged my face so that I'm unable to eat normally, etc. The judge described it as an unprovoked, vicious attack that he would not tolerate, and he actually imposed a custodial sentence.
Tony needed a new purpose and turned to puppy parenting.
He needed something else to focus on other than the downside of what had happened.
Instead of thinking how bad my life was and how hard done by I was, I had to concentrate on this little 6-week-old pup who needed looking after.
And it did work. I went out to work, so I wasn't with him all day, and so he really needed just that something else. And now he's got me and the dog, so hey-ho.
Some of our other pups have also found homes with experienced puppy parents. Corky has gone to Cambridge to live with Michelle.
Good boy.
Keith is in Birmingham with Leslie. Cola is in Swindon with Mary. And Keegan has gone to Devon to live with Jean and Roger. But you don't have to be experienced to be a puppy parent. Kylie and Kira are with first-timers. As is Cluedo, who's moved to the Welsh Valleys to live with retired carer Jean.
I seen it advertised in the Argos. I said to my sister, I said that was a job I wouldn't mind doing because at the end of it, somebody gets the benefit, and I love helping people. Yeah, I live with my sister, Christine, and her dog, Charlie. My great-granddaughter also lives with me, Ellie, and she really loves the dogs, really loves animals. Take it off of him!
Although she's a first-time puppy parent, Cluedo is not Jean's first dog.
I broke my heart when I lost my dog, Sandy. She was 17 and obviously we couldn't stand her in pain, so even now. I don't think I could have another dog personally, but to foster one, yes. It takes the edge off of things. He has a few bad habits, yes. He eats stones like he's doing now, by the look of it. Are you eating a stone? Yes. Naughty.
Cluedo will spend a year with Jean. After that, he'll move on to guide dog training school. Kez has travelled to Worcester, where he's living with another first-time puppy parent, Colin.
The reason I started is a rather selfish reason, really. My wife was Ellen. We'd been married 50 years, and I'd had to look after her for 5 years. Unfortunately, in November of last year, she did pass away and made a great big hole in my life, which I filled up with Kez. He's been a great comfort to me. Now off you go on. Good boy. I've got somebody else to care for now, but my wife never bit me now. But Kez does.
Not all of our pups are destined to become guide dogs. They're in great demand elsewhere. Canine partners provide assistance dogs to the disabled. They bought Kerry when she was 6 weeks old and changed her name to Tessie. She's come to live in rural Wiltshire with foster parents Annie, a retired air steward, and Derek, a former pilot.
We've got mostly Labradors, and we've got 3 generations. Wait.
So, you like dogs?
I think that's an understatement.
Yes, when we got married some 37 years ago, really I should have been warned about this. Not just marry me, it was marry the dogs as well. And we've had dogs ever since then. It's like having one big family, but they don't answer back.
Tessie will live here for a year, where Annie and Derek will teach her all sorts of jobs useful for her future owner.
Tag, tag. Tag, tag. Not my toes. Tag, tag. Good girl. They will collect the post from the front door. They will pick up the telephones. They will put the washing in the machine and take the washing out of the machine. Good girl.
Oh, Tessie, pick it up, please. And bring it here. And give. That's a good girl. Thank you very much.
I think it's more stimulating. I'm not decrying guide dogs because they do a brilliant job, but they don't help in the house as much as these dogs do. Tessie, take it. Up, Tessie. I think she'll get there. I hope she'll get there. Well, make sure she gets there.
While Tessie prepares for life with a wheelchair user, her brothers and sisters are destined to join the ranks of the 5,000 guide dogs currently working across the country. In Glasgow, Jill Daly is getting ready for a night on the town.
It takes me about an hour to do my makeup, and a lot of people will say to me, why do you bother? And usually, you know, I'll say to them, well, you can see me and other people can see me, and it's a self-confidence thing, I suppose.
Her date for the evening is her faithful guide dog, Lucas.
Lucas is so many different things to me. He is like a little person, he's like my baby, and it still amazes me every single day when I put the harness on and go for a walk that this little dog is actually my eyes.
Aged 2, Jill was diagnosed with diabetes. When she was 19, her vision deteriorated suddenly over a period of 2 weeks. Jill's eyes were hemorrhaging, and the only hope of saving her sight was an emergency operation.
The day before I went into hospital, for some reason I just wanted to go out and just look at everything. I had the tiniest corner of sight, and it must have been about 6 o'clock at night, and there was the most beautiful, beautiful colour I have ever seen in my life. And I remember looking to Mum and saying, "Is that the sunset?" And she said, "Yes, it is." Everything seems so final, and sure enough, you know, a day later, my sight had gone completely.
Jill had become one of the 4% of visually impaired people who can't see anything at all.
For me, when I lost my sight, and the more people said to me, "Oh, God love her, she'll never do this and she'll never do that," if anything, it pushed me on and made me more belligerent and stubborn and absolutely focused on doing something with my life. Very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the programme. Jill Daly here with you until 3 this afternoon.
18 years after losing her sight, Jill has made a successful career for herself as a broadcaster.
We're now to the second hour of the Daily Lunch.
With Lucas at her side, she can handle anything or anyone who comes her way.
Who's this friend of yours?
This is Lucas.
Hi, Nicholas?
Lucas.
Oh, Lucas.
Yeah.
It's my accent.
I remember reading about you that at your school graduation, you stood up and you told everybody you were going to be the biggest country singer in the school, and everybody laughed. Well, when I lost my sight at 19, everybody laughed at me when I said I was going to be on the radio one day. And here I am interviewing Dolly Parton nearly 20 years later.
Well, praise the Lord and pass the glory, huh?
Meeting her idols hasn't been the only perk of her job.
Ian and I have worked together now for a good 5 years. Well, I present the show, he produces my show. I've dated a few guys since I've lost my sight, and I've made some pretty naff choices, but when I met Ian, it was like a whole different ballgame.
The first time I met her, it was just, I've never known anyone blind. I mean, we just clicked straight away. It's great, because she thinks I look like Tom Cruise.
Today, Jill and Lucas have a secret assignment.
Obviously really beaded at the top, and then it's got a kind of soft A-line skirt at the bottom.
See, a 3/4 length sleeve.
Yeah.
The minute Ian asked me to marry him, I was thinking, you know, what's my dress going to be like?
Lucas plans to walk Jill down the aisle and wants to make his opinion known.
Oh, wait a second! Lucas approved! He just sat on it!
What do you think? Without Lucas, where would I be? Would I be as happy? Would I get as much joy out of life? I honestly don't think so. All I can say to anybody who's going through the process of sight loss, allow yourself to grieve, but you know, there's got to be a time where you've got to dust yourself off and think, right, I'm gonna get up there and show people that my life isn't over and I've still got a lot to offer.
Our pups are now 8 months old and well settled with their puppy parents. Like all mums and dads, it's their job to make sure their kids are well behaved. The pups must walk nicely on the lead.
Nice and steady.
Return when called.
Here I come.
And not get distracted by other dogs.
Sit. Sit. Keith. Keith.
Puppy supervisors visit regularly to assess the pup's development.
Try a bit of physical contact as well, tickling him.
It's their job to keep an eye on the puppy parents and to ensure that the dogs get used to the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
Good puppy.
They also take a rather keen interest in the pup's more intimate issues.
I've got my poo charts here.
Brilliant.
What it's showing is invariably, if it's a 1 poo day, the next day you'll get at least 2 and sometimes 3.
The stakes are high. If all this basic training isn't done properly, the pups will fail to make the grade as guide dogs. Adolescent dogs can be a handful. One puppy parent who's finding it tough is first-timer Colin.
I think it's more difficult than you think it's going to be from the outset. Trouble with Kez, he sometimes decides he's coming back at about 80 miles an hour and he launches himself at you. And he's about 28 kilos now, and a dog running at that speed and that weight, he can actually knock you over if you're not very careful. So that's a problem. Yes, come. Sit. You're a good boy.
Kez's supervisor, Becky, has heard Colin is having problems and has come to find out more.
How have you been since last time?
Oh, it's fine. Stop biting, Kez, no bite. Can you keep quiet a bit? We're trying to talk. You've drawn blood again, look, Kez. Haven't you? No, that's enough. No, that's enough. No, that's enough. There's a good boy.
Kez may not realise it, but his behaviour is under close scrutiny.
And just call him back. Just call him back to you. So at the moment, we're trying to get him to come back, but come in nice and safely, so a slower speed, and actually come back and make contact with our hand. Lovely. Keep that hand there. Lovely. Okay. And then with your other hand, so it'll be your other hand you'll need to try and take him with. Kez, come. Kez, come. And just ignore him for a minute. He's being very silly. I say, he's being very, very silly.
This silliness could change everything for Kez. In the Welsh valleys, Jean and Cluedo are going through a rough patch.
Every morning I woke up, I used to think to myself, what the hell has he done now? There'd be paper all over the floor and things ripped up. I go mad.
Cluedo's supervisor, Mel, has come to mediate.
Hello. How are you? Come on in, my love.
You're saying he's had a little nibble on the rug here.
Yeah.
What I would do at the moment is maybe remove the rug at the moment.
Wouldn't it be a bit cold?
But he's got the blanket, that's fine. It's just he's got into that habit of nibbling, and all you'll find is the rug will get smaller and smaller. It's when you start taking him, or you've popped out and he hasn't had any exercise, he hasn't had any stimulation, and he's a young dog and he's going to get bored. That's why a lot of destructive behaviour comes in, because they become bored.
Speak to you soon.
Yeah. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
No, leave. Leave, Kez.
It's been several weeks since Kez's assessment, and there's no sign of improvement. The guide dogs team needs to take decisive action.
There's still a concern with his dog distraction, and also his recall isn't going as well as hoped. So we've taken the decision that I will have Kez living with me for a short period of time, just so that some of his puppy work can actually be done in a more controlled environment. It's always quite a sad visit, especially if they're not potentially having another puppy afterwards, which Colin possibly won't be.
Well, I've not been looking forward to it, but I mean, I knew when I had him at the outset that sooner or later he'd go, and I quite enjoyed it. He's, you know, filled a hole in my life, and I'm sorry to lose him. You're going to be a good boy, Kez, when you go away. Make a good guide dog. I hope so anyway. You behave yourself. If Billy wonders what's going on.
He probably thinks it's a bit unusual. He probably thinks, oh, I'm off for a nice walk with Becky. But... good lad. Sit down, Kez.
I'm not going to say cheerio to him.
No?
No.
That's all right.
He loved that as a puppy.
Kez will have to change his ways if he's to stand any chance of making the grade. Guide dog owners attract attention wherever they go, so their dog's conduct must be exemplary. It's especially important when you're the most famous guide dog owner of them all.
I'm David Blunkett, and this is my current guide dog, Cosby. There's an old adage, if you want a friend in politics, get a dog. Well, I've got a dog.
Not a digital voice recorder?
No, it's not. It's old-fashioned technology. Just like guide dogs are old-fashioned technology. People recognise the dog as well as me. We are a team, and I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity of dignity, because that's what a guide dog brings. And if you're in public life, pompous as it may seem, you really do need that dignity to be able to carry the day. It's very difficult to take somebody seriously who's just fallen over something. I've never been able to see. I had a problem with my optic nerve, which was just 1 in a million. It took them about 3 months before they realised that I wasn't seeing anything at all.
David Blunkett got his first guide dog in 1969 when he was 22. Since then, a dog has been his constant companion throughout his rise to power. First as leader of Sheffield City Council, then Labour MP, and eventually Home Secretary in Tony Blair's cabinet.
The House of Commons is a labyrinth, and having a guide dog enables me to get around easily without having to be too reliant on everyone else. There's a good dog. Well done. You actually have the ability to scratch the dog's ears, to feel a wet muzzle in your hand when you're stressed out, when things are going quite badly.
This year, things are changing for David and Cosby.
Well, after 45 years in public life, I've decided to stand down as a member of that House of Commons, and perhaps to spend a little bit more leisure time walking, which I love doing with my guide dogs, and going to Sheffield Wednesday to watch, as I would say, the team, which I've supported since I was 4 years old. I don't think I'm going to miss the House of Commons. I don't think Cosby will miss having to be in London, because it is a very stressful, challenging place to be. But you're not going to see us disappear completely, I'm sure about that.
David's not the only one looking forward to a rest. 1 year ago, our pups were born at the National Breeding Centre. While it was Retriever George's 3rd time as a mum, for renowned Labrador stud Kane, it was his 22nd time as a dad.
What is it, dog? What are those?
With our litter, Kane's career came to an end, and he was all set to enjoy a well-earned retirement with his owner, Pam.
The very sad news was that, unfortunately, Kane was very ill over Christmas, and we had to put him to sleep. It was really the kindest thing we could do. So I think, honestly, the worst bit was when the vet told me on the phone that he thought it was probably cancer. I think I did 2/3 of my crying that day, actually. I miss him dreadfully because he was such a character, but I know it was the right thing to do. He had so many offspring, all around the world, actually, one way and another. They're everywhere. Ken will live on for as long as they're about.
In Canada, Kane's grandson has changed the lives of one family forever. In Ontario, Canada, there's one family whose lives have changed dramatically thanks to Kane. 2 years ago, the Reed family were at breaking point. Their youngest son, Adam, was causing major concern.
You all done?
No.
Not yet? Okay, when I say it's time to go, we gotta go, okay? When we say, you know, that we had tantrums, that's an understatement.
Remember when we didn't leave the house for 6 months?
Yep.
6 months, because he would not leave the front door. And when we finally got him through the front door screaming, then he wouldn't come in. Neighbors complaining, it was a madhouse.
In 2012, doctors delivered the diagnosis the Reeds had always suspected. Adam was autistic.
When you start questioning yourself about, you know...
What did I do wrong?
Well, what did I do wrong? But also, you know, what about all the dreams that you had for this child? And
is he ever going to have a wife? Is he ever going to have a house? Is he ever going to work? Is he ever going to be able to do anything?
No.
But ever since we got Totem, it's almost like maybe he can.
Meet Totem, Kane's grandson. As a specially trained autism assistance dog, Totem has enabled Adam to form an emotional bond for the very first time.
When Totem came, Adam is nonverbal, basically. He had maybe 6 words that he said. And then within a few weeks, we went to a store and he walked up to a boy his own age, which he'd never done before, and said, "Look, boy, my dog." And we went, oh, he just spoke.
Can I put in that car?
No, I don't know if he can go in that car. Remember when he first laughed?
Yep.
And we had Totem for about a month.
Yeah.
A month.
It was about a month, yeah.
And Totem would jump on the couch and then run to the door, and then jump to the couch and run to the door, and he just kept doing this. And Adam stood there laughing, and we cried like little kids because we've never seen him laugh. He was 4 years old, and we've never seen him laugh, and that was the first time he laughed. Getting used to the fact that your child has autism, that was hard. But we've done more crying after we got Totem than before, just of the happy tears, of all the stuff that Adam was all of a sudden doing. Are you going to go in, Connor?
We actually just recently learned that Totem's grandfather recently passed away. We just want to say to his owners, thank you so much, because this dog has been a godsend to our family. And I mean, if there is miracles, that dog is a miracle. Because without him, our life would be
hell.
So much harder, for sure.
That's your boy.
1,500 miles away in San Antonio, Texas, Kane's influence is also being felt. Every single guide dog on the statewide breeding program is descended from him. Like our pups, Ember, Fiona and Effie May are almost a year old, but their puppy parents are rather different.
I am here on a burglary of a building charge.
Yeah, I'm just in here for a stolen vehicle.
I basically left the state without permission. I messed up once and they sent me here for 20 months. And here I am.
Guide Dogs of Texas has pioneered the use of prisoners as puppy parents, making use of the one thing these men have plenty of.
Who has more time to work with the dogs than somebody that's incarcerated? I had a 2-year sentence, so that's 2 years, you know, every day, day in and day out, to be able to work with these dogs.
To take part, prisoners must be non-violent offenders.
One question I ask the guys when we interview them to be selected, are you going to be able to make a fool of yourself, you know, in front of other inmates with the dog, when they've got to get down and do the little, we call it the Minnie Mouse voice, where they do the little squeaky, come on, come on. Hammer, hammer. Sit, girl. At first it's hard, but they get to the point where they don't care.
Good girl. Good girl, Amber.
The dogs don't just provide the men with company, they're also their get-out-of-jail-free card, if only for a few hours. The dogs need to get used to life in the outside world. So every other day, the prisoners and their puppies make a break for it and go for a walk in downtown San Antonio.
Going out and going to the malls and stuff like that is really nice. Just to get a break from being here, get out from behind the fences and the wire.
Straight on.
We do get some looks, but once they see the officer behind us, I think it clicks, you know. But we do get some strange looks. Kind of a bummer at the end of the day when you have to come back in through the fences. Leaving the fence is great. Coming back through the fence, not so much.
Just like the puppy parents in Britain, the prisoners will spend a year raising the pups before sending them on to advanced training.
We had an inmate that was leaving. He was being released, and he was crying because he was leaving his dog. So that's kind of, you know, usually it's the other way around. You're crying when you're coming to prison, not crying when you're leaving.
She's definitely my best friend, that's for sure.
Back in England, Kane's final litter are having a reunion. The puppy parents have never met before, but today they've come from far and wide to celebrate their pup's first birthday. Even mum Georgie has come along to see her children all grown up, from firstborn Kylie to lastborn Kez. It's the first time that Colin has seen Kez since he was taken from him.
Oh, missed him like anything. Still do. Still, I suppose they know best.
Kez has been living with his puppy supervisor, Becky, for the past month.
He's doing really well. His dog distraction's progressed really nicely since being around the other dog.
The pups are due to be photographed alongside their puppy parents, but Colin's nowhere in sight.
Is Colin gone?
Yeah, I think he's got a bit much for him, to be honest.
What's the issue? Just...
No, I think it's just a bit emotional for him to be being here.
Colin's daughter Susan has stayed on.
Oh, I'm finding it hard.
Has Kez gone into training then?
He's coming. Sorry, I'm a bit emotional.
Oh, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. You do miss them. I'm sure you do. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's all
I was
right.
trying to make conversation, you know.
The party's being held in memory of Kane, with his owner Pam as guest of honour.
Thank you.
And over on Puppy Block, there's someone special waiting to meet her. She's been invited to name one of the latest arrivals.
Let's see where he is. He's a good old Colin.
Oh, there he is. She's gorgeous. Really lovely. I think Kane would be thrilled to bits if he could see him, actually. He'd love to play with him. Why he couldn't have made another fortnight, I don't know, but he didn't. And everybody's been so kind about him. He obviously was a tremendous favourite with everybody. And I mean, you can't hope for much more than that. Even he was still a hell of a dog.
I name this puppy Kane.
Guide dogs have an average working life of just 7 years before they retire. Yosie has only recently stopped working, but she's still living with her owner Jason, his partner Jonathan, and her replacement Crispin.
She's part of the family, she's been my world. I've always said it, meet the dog that saved my life. So I lost my sight in 2006 and I was 35. It's diabetic retinopathy, I'm diabetic.
It happened very quickly, almost over a week, and it was life-changing probably for both of us, really.
Mm. First 3 months were really, really hideous. It's a really weird situation to be in, to suddenly think, oh, I'll go and do it. Oh no, I can't see. Something inside me just said, I need a dog. As soon as Yosie came along, you know, put the harness on, and we just fly about, we go everywhere. I was getting on buses, I was going out. Nobody could keep track of me. I was like, where are you? Such an amazing feeling that a dog could restore your personality. To be honest, I didn't really think there was anything wrong. It was a very random checkup, and I had a phone call from the vets to say that unfortunately Yosie had cancer. And they retired her immediately. Just recently, he's turned around and said she's had all the gold star chemo I can give her, and unfortunately it's not responding, and she's I think she's got about 4 to 6 weeks. Well, she's like she is, then we'll just spoil her as much as we can. If she wants 24 bonios a day, she can have them. I don't care. When we think she's had enough.
When that time comes.
When that time comes, then
we know it's the right decision. Do we?
Unfortunately, yeah.
In Birmingham, it's 5 weeks since Jason was told that his retired guide dog Yosie was no longer responding to chemotherapy.
How are you feeling, eh? She's got no energy. Someone came to the door yesterday and she tried to bark and she just couldn't. I think, like, you know, all her throat's sore now and she stopped eating, so I can tell where the lumps are in her as she's stroking her. It's horrible. I know it's time. I know what's got to be done. Because we're not having you suffering, are we?
Jason makes a final appointment with the vet for the following day. Next stop is his mother and sister.
I've got something to tell you.
Well,
Yosie's vet appointment tomorrow.
yeah.
She won't be coming home.
Are you joking?
No. No. She's suffering. I can't let her do it anymore. It's our decision.
Oh, come on.
She's not, you know, she's not been eating all week, Mum.
Give him a new lease of life because he wasn't going anywhere. As soon as they had the dog, he seemed a bit a different person altogether. It seemed as if he'd come alive again, didn't he? Yeah. And yeah, she was lovely. She really is.
Yeah.
How many years would she have had left?
Till 10, they say 10. But, you know, some dogs just keep going and keep going. And I know that if this hadn't happened, she'd have been one of those dogs.
Oh, yeah.
She'd have gone forever.
Robert's little one in dog years, he's 105.
It's almost as old as you. Almost.
Oh, yes, Jonathan, definitely.
The time has come for Jason and Jonathan to say goodbye.
I can't put into words how much she means and how much, you know, she's meant to me, and she saved my life. And just the thought of I can't do for her what she's done for me, I can't save her. That hurts.
What I'll do is I'm just going to do a brief examination. I know this is tough. Oh, she's very flat, isn't she?
Yeah.
I'll get her a sedative ready and get her catheter placed. Okay. She was an absolutely different dog today than the one that I saw when we first diagnosed her with her cancer. Just 100% sicker, feeling worse. So it was time.
Thank you.
Nice big blanket. She's going to get sleepy pretty fast here.
Thank you.
Go, sweet. She's gone.
It's a year since our pups were placed with their foster families, and the day has arrived when they'll have to say goodbye.
Her puppy snatcher's arrived. Don't let her in.
They're moving on to begin their guide dog training in earnest.
He's a good boy. Come on. Will you be a good boy?
You can feel a little bit like Cruella de Vil at times.
Good girl. There you go. That's the boy. Oh, well done.
He's ready. I hate to say it, but he's ready. We're not ready. We'll never be ready.
In the Welsh valleys, Jean and great-granddaughter Ellie have a tough job to do.
Can only take one toy, she said. So which one we're going to have? What are you going to have? That one? That one? I got all his things ready, you know, to go, just so it won't take so long, you know, for him out to put his stuff in the car and just take him. I'm going to miss it terrible. A little part says, fail, so I can have you back.
When we first met, he was so lovely. So fluffy thing. I'm going to miss him.
Hiya, Jean, you're right. Come on then.
Thank you very much for everything.
You take care, all right? And I'll speak to you soon. Ta-ra.
It doesn't get any easier. I've been doing this job for like 10 years, and it probably gets worse in a way.
In Woodall Spa, Tony and Carol are facing another empty nest.
Busy biz, say goodbye to your garden. Last going to bed, last busy, last breakfast, last this. We've done it all in the last 24 hours. The last everything for the dog. Only dog doesn't know it. Do your sweets.
I mean, a lot of people will get to this stage, do their first handover and never face another pup again. What you have to do is realise that you will never get used to it and accept that it's a necessary evil. Good boy. Walk in. Did you want to say goodbye to him?
Yeah. Oh, sweetie.
And then if you walk out,
Kissy kiss.
he's all up to date, everything he's had.
I know.
No.
I know.
No, be a good boy for Dad. You make me proud. Dad hear from you soon. Go away. Walk out, Carol. It's never good. Never will be.
No.
But what you have to do is look at this lot and think, hopefully he's going on to do this.
Yeah.
That's the worst bit. That's the worst bit ever. You all right?
Yeah, he's lovely.
In Salisbury, it's Annie and Derek's last day with Tessie.
I went to boarding school, so I mean, for me, I know what it's like to be parted and things. It'll be a lump in the throat. There'll be a hole. They'll be suddenly finding I'll be putting out a dish for the 5th one and it's not there.
We knew today would come, and sorry, we didn't think it would be this emotional. Good girl.
Good girl, darling.
If we were upset unduly that she was going, we shouldn't have taken on the job in the first place.
Okay, darling?
Hand her over.
Thank you very much for all of your work you've put
We'll
into
see you
her.
again.
Yes.
Okay. You can come then. Oh, what is this? Oh.
No. Yes. As I said before, we know we've got to do this. And we've done it.
Jason, Jonathan and Crispin have travelled 200 miles to Padstow for a very special occasion.
She loved this beach and she loved the sea. So yeah, it's where she should be. Yeah. There you go, Yos.
Love you lot.
Okay. Good boy. Say goodbye to Yos. Dogs don't live forever. and a new one will come along, and they'll enrich your life in a totally different way. I've got CRISPR now, and that's the thing. That's my focus. I'm not into all this new age, we live on and all that sort of stuff, but I don't think of her as completely gone. She's around, she's still looking out for me, definitely.
Next time, will our puppies make the grade as guide dogs?
This is Cluedo. He's a little bit more rotund, there's not much of a waist shape. He will have to go on a diet.
If he didn't improve, then Kirby could get withdrawn for it.
As they meet their new owners, they're not the only ones getting hitched.
I think dogs can love one another, a bit like people really.
And if our pups don't watch out, they could be out of a job.
There is another animal that you can use as a service animal, and that is a miniature horse.
That's something different.